Oh, champ. It looks like Drake's Nokia might be on Billboard's #1 spot really soon. Something that nobody expected to happen. Initially, even the mayor is guilty of thinking that, hey, there could be no possible way of a Drake comeback, no possible way of him ever going #1 again. But then Nokia drops, and apparently this is a song that's really getting traction. Now, with this going on, is it possible that Drake will have more records like Nokia or even better than Nokia? Hey, look, gang, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share the video because we're going to get into it, gang. Big Mayor.
Sipping slow, yakking the act, thinking I'm the mayor.
It's the mayor. Welcome to Showface News. You can call me what you want, just don't call me woke. You're not rocking with the town favorite. Showface News is Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Look, gang, Nokia is doing its numbers. One thing we have to acknowledge is that Nokia is doing its numbers. Though I'm not gonna lie, I do not like this song. I think this song's horrible. I thought the video was even worse than the actual song itself. Alright? However, we must be honest. We were wrong about thinking that there was no possible way that Drake could make a comeback. This might be Drake's comeback record. Now that it's reached #3 on Billboard, alright? Now after, a couple of weeks, right, we've seen it drop it, we've seen it decline a little bit, but it's only gotten better, surpassing Shabuzi, a bar song, surpassing a lot of songs that are mega hits, which only means that if Nokia can make it to #1, it would be considered a mega hit. Now, it's not really a hip-hop song, like it's not a hip-hop record, but it's still a Drake record that's doing well, right? May not be of the hip-hop genre. Maybe he should probably stick to other genres when he crosses over, right? Because apparently it might work well for him, Now, me saying that, I was one of the people saying that there was no possible way that Drake could make this comeback with all of the hatred he was receiving, right? All of the accolades Kendrick was getting, right? It looked like there was absolutely no hope for Drake ever making a hit record, but right now it looks like Nokia might be the hit record. Right now, I understand why this could be considered a hit record, right? Even if I don't like it, there's other people that do, all right? Think about the white college girls who drink White Claw and Smirnoff, all right? This is a song for them, all right? This is more geared towards a younger audience, even somewhat of an older audience, all right? There's an audience for this. There's a niche for this, all right? This record is getting the traction that people didn't think that it would get, all right? Even me, a little bit surprised about this. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, this is still Drake, right? We have to admit, like, look, he lost to Kendrick clearly, right? We can move past this, let this go, stop dragging it, all right? Maybe he can go even further, all right? I think, the closer we get, to the summertime, maybe this whole, beef and hatred for Drake could possibly die down. It seems to be dying down now, all right? Everybody changing up and switching up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not switching my stance for nobody. I didn't like Drake before the beef, and I still don't like him now, right? I'm not gonna sit up here in front and act like, I'm still for this, like I'm gonna switch up. Absolutely not, because I genuinely do not like the record. I didn't like the album that they did, but Drake is a singles guy, all right? We know Drake in history to make a lot of singles, all right, that hit. In the past, Drake has had albums that weren't good. Like, they're not all songs that make a real impactful album, but there might be 3 or 4 songs on there that might make Billboard and chart very high, which builds the illusion that the album was great. But truthfully, what's really great is just the singles, all right? He's a singles guy. He'll give you a good song, even though he doesn't create it himself for the most part, and he has ghostwriters and etc. And sometimes he'll even steal songs, all right? But these records, all right, these things is pretty much what makes up, Drake's catalog, right? A lot of Drake's catalog is single success. That's why he doesn't have a bunch of Grammys, because even at the Grammys is more based on more so album, right? Album, but singles too. But Drake doesn't have a lot of Grammys for that reason, because he's just a singles guy. He'll make a club hit, he'll make a club banger, but that's about as far as he can go. That's what his repertoire consists of. That's what's in his arsenal. But truthfully, he can't go no crazier than that. He can't go past, the singles thing. he's not going to give you a full album of bangers. He's not going to give you a full album that should be replayed in full. He'll give you some songs on that album that are great and that might chart, but that's as far as it's going to go, all right, if we're being honest. But at the end of the day, it's still Drake. We have to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this is one of the biggest rappers, period, right? A part of the biggest beef in hip-hop. So we can't even be surprised that if Nokia knocks Kendrick off the #1 spot. Now, I know that's going to hurt a lot of Glazers that, look, Kendrick can potentially be knocked off of #1, but it makes sense as to why that would happen, right? I mean, Luther is a banger, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Luther. You know, I think it's a good song, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But maybe now it might, you know, be time for Luther to, you know, just step back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, will it still be a top 10 record? Probably, more than likely, yeah. Yeah, it might be at that #2, #3 spot by next week, all right? But Drake seems to be getting a lot of push right now, all right? And it's not because of UMG, it's just based on people's genuine, you know, genuinely wanting to hear Drake. Like, people are in clubs listening to Nokia. Like, it's publicly being played. I've seen it myself. This isn't fake. There isn't any bots. Plus, Billboard is doing its best to purge all of the bot behavior that's been going on with artists. You see what happened with Travis Scott. You see what happened with Nav recently with his album. All right, Travis Scott's whole album literally got just taken off, period, from the whole Billboard, you know, when it comes to albums and etc. So if we're being honest, like, this is genuine traction that Drake is getting, which actually makes sense now. So maybe all of this hatred for Drake is dying down. Maybe people are not, you know, on that bandwagon where, you know, they're jumping on Kendrick's side. Now, this doesn't do any damage to Kendrick Lamar whatsoever as an artist, because Kendrick is Kendrick at the end of the day, right? He's always going to have success. So even, you know, with Drake potentially being #1 on Billboard for Nokia, it doesn't harm Kendrick. Kendrick hasn't put out any new music, all right? You feel what I'm saying? And he's about to go on tour, so we don't know where, you know, what happens from there. We don't know about the GNX Deluxe yet, when that's dropping, if it's gonna drop at all. We don't know, all right? He might have a whole new album. We don't know anything as far as Kendrick is concerned, but this really ain't even about Kendrick. This is just about Drake and what Drake is doing. And look, Drake is #1, that's cool, man. I expect Drake to do these things because it is Drake at the end of the day. We're not gonna act like this is some low tier artist who hasn't had an impact within the last decade, because he has, right? He's been around since like 2009 as far as mainstream hip hop is concerned. And listen, he seems to be back. Now, if he can give another Nokia type of record that would get the same traction, then we're probably gonna be talking about a comeback for real. Like, okay, Drake is officially back. All right, so this is, you know, him getting his foot back in the door to superstardom once again, to being in people's good graces, maybe, all right? Some people are not really fans of Kendrick. Some people were just trying to jump on the winning side. Some people are just glazers who are probably going to be upset at this video saying, oh, it seems like you're giving kudos to Drake. I'm not giving kudos to anything. I'm just telling you reality. All right. Listen, it's a forever war between Drake glazers and Kendrick glazers. Let's not mistake Kendrick glazers for Kendrick fans, because Kendrick glazers and Kendrick fans are two different types of individuals. All right. Some people live to eat, sleep, and breathe Kendrick's Frank. And if that's what you want to do, that's on you. If you want to use your mouth as a Frank outlet, it doesn't make you a Kendrick fan. You just like the taste of his Frank. And that's cool if that's what you want to do. But just know that you're going to be looked at as someone that's suspect. Yeah, people are going to think that you're weird. They're going to think that you're suspect because you look strange, all right? Trying to be, you know, this insane glazer, and he doesn't even know that you're doing all this, all right? Some of y'all believe that God is watching over you or something, like he's some type of God or something, which maybe he is to his own right, but you worshiping another human being is absolutely suspect, and that's what it appears to be when it comes to glazers, right? Even Drake glazers, same for y'all, right? Y'all eat, sleep, and breathe Drake's Frank too at the same time, and he not even paying y'all no mind. You'll probably never meet him or nothing like that, and if you do, you'll probably be escorted out by security or packed out by security, if we're being honest. But once again, all right, I'm not shocked that Nokia is now pushing for #1. It doesn't shock me anymore, but there's definitely gonna be a civil war by next week if and only if Nokia does make #1, and there's a super high chance that it does make #1. All right, we got the TikTok dances going crazy with the Nokia, so it's pushing the numbers, it's amplifying the numbers. So hey man, maybe this was a good strategy for Drake, right? When it comes to this record, I mean, the album Some Sexy Songs for You, really Party Next Door's album. I mean, it's a terrible album. I can't stand it, but truthfully, you know, this one song is doing some things that we didn't expect it to do, because I didn't expect it, you didn't expect it, but here we are having this discussion, right? And then I heard some of the unreleased songs. Wasn't really fans of the unreleased songs, but who knows? Like I said, it might hit for other people, might not hit for me personally. I kind of thought Drake was falling off way before the beef even started with For All the Dogs. That album was kind of lackluster to me. Might have been 1 or 2 songs that was cool, but truthfully, we just have to be honest about the situation. You dig? Now, we're gonna see what happens now. What do y'all think? Are y'all also surprised and also shocked at the success of Nokia? Because it's clearly successful. We can't deny the success of Nokia. It's doing its numbers. Will it be #1 next week? Listen, you let me know how you feel in that comment section. Smash up on the like, share the video, tell the man how you feel. Alright, also join the Discord. The Discord link is in the comments, in the description. It's fire. 1,000 people, gang. That's because it's lit. A special announcement. Are you ready? It's the mayor, the one and only real New York mayor, F. Eric Adams. You rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you share the video, and subscribe to Showface News now. Go to showfacenews.com and cop the merch. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute. Ladies and gentlemen, do the mayor a favor and go to showfacenews.com for the brand new mayor merch. Yes, wear the mayor's quotes in style all fall, all with along. For the remainder of 2024, the mayor will be providing brand new merch each and every month. Alright, look, we have the All Champs tees out right now, as well as the Hug Your Shadow hoodies and tees. Wear the mayor merch in style only at showfacenews.com. Get your orders in, the orders ship fast. Get it right now. Everybody's buying it. Subscribe to the mayor.